guys. So, I want to talk about the power of your brain and utilizing your own mental capacity or your own psychology to convince yourself that you can do pretty much anything you want. And I've been in a position where I've tested myself, and I enjoy testing myself mentally with being overly strict, overly rigid, and doing things to the extreme, cutting out certain things, abiding by certain things, very strictly. That's why I think bodybuilding was a good fit for me, because if you want to test out your rigidness and your mental toughness, and this is the perfect endeavor to get into. So you get people that ask. I have people that ask me, recently, because I've been able to learn my body again after the TRT and then coming off and having all the struggles and medication. Ask me, how do you maintain your leanness and how do you do it? I had a client say, Coach Matt, he saw me the other day at the gym, like, I've seen you for the last year and a half, and you've maintained your leanness so well. How do you do it? And I really couldn't answer it in any other way besides just eating perfectly, as perfect as I can. And that's every single day. Every single day we're faced with choices, okay? Life in general is about choices. We're faced with options. And you can choose a good option or a not so good option. It's simple as that. So anytime I'm going anywhere and I'm faced with a dilemma as far as traveling, I'm always going to choose what's in my best interest as far as my goals, which is, of course, maintaining a lean physique, and that to me feels great, even though the strictness can suck and you can be hungry and you can feel deprived from certain things. But it's more important to me. I feel better whenever I know that I'm as strict as possible, because I feel better attaining and maintaining a certain look. So I never make excuses and I never justify bad decisions. If I make a bad decision, I'll just straight up say it and I'll admit to it. But I don't think you should, because you have always a choice not to. And that means when you're going out, and you have work and you got called in for work and you're in a bind and you didn't pack your meal, and you're at a restaurant and there's carbs involved and whatever, you can always opt to not get the carbs. You can always opt to specify with the cook or chef not to add oil or butter. You can bypass and forego a lot of things. You don't just have to just take one for the team and just eat it, or or drink it or whatever. You don't. And sometimes people say, well, eating that's better than eating nothing at all. Sometimes I almost think eating nothing at all is probably better than eating like a McDonald's processed cheeseburger. Regardless of whatever anyone wants to argue with me about, saying, well, it's more catabolic to bypass a meal. Yeah, not so much. You probably have enough body fat to not go so catabolic per se, and you can probably utilize some fatty acids for fuel substrate. You can justify that in your brain and say, hey, I'll have the McDonald's or whatever shit food. It's better than having something than having nothing. So once again, it's all about choices, and people are just mentally weak. And the thing is, it's not only choices, but it's patience and consistency. It's a cumulative effect. So I started off very frustrated, and things weren't moving, things weren't budging. But it was me making those choices over and over again, those perfect choices with eating, eliminating things, bypassing things, foregoing things, that finally the cumulative effect, the buildup, week, month, things started to finally change. And most people can't have the patience, or they don't allow themselves enough consistency, enough days to go by. They don't want to bypass that frustration, awkward phase where your body is still higher in body fat and things aren't clicking yet. They just start ruining things right out, after a couple of weeks, and start making those shittier decisions. And they stop the cumulative effect in the tracks because they're having those intermittent shitty choices. You got to have perfect choices ongoing, and it's tedious. But those perfect choices are going to manifest as something great as time goes on. You follow what I'm saying? I'm diet brain right now. I'm trying to get the low DEXA right now, so I'm probably rambling. But it's all about choices. Everything in life. Obviously that expands out to anything. People always blame certain things and, oh, why me in life? I have like a rain cloud over me. I have such bad luck. No, you probably created your own luck by making a stupid ass choice. You know, people make the decisions, and it's either this door or that door. And you should know deep inside with your instincts and your intuition what door truly is the best. But a lot of people just forego that. So if you want to achieve something, you need to be mentally tough and know that it's going to suck, and know that these little things do mean a lot. You know, whenever you keep bypassing and foregoing these little things that could slip you up, these additives to your food or this or that or the other, you're going to get to where you need to go. It's going to take a while. But if you keep on sprinkling in those bad decisions, guys, it's going to stop you in your tracks, and you're just going to be spinning your wheels. So you need to really take a step back. And, you know, whenever I have a client say, you know, Matt, how do you maintain leanness? I'm working so much, man. my food, my diet's just, I really promise you, if I was doing any job, which I've done jobs where I've worked on my feet for 12 hours a day, or I've sat in an office for 12 hours a day. I've traveled, I've had salary jobs and normal 9-to-5 jobs. And I made best decisions I could all the time, because that's just the way my brain's wired. So guys, just remember, it's always about choices, and just know that you always have most likely a better choice. It's up to you to pursue that choice. You all have the power to. Don't make excuses of why, you know, if this guy does this because he's genetically better, and that could be true, and he's taken this drug, and that could be true too. But when it all comes down to it, you can still do the best that you personally can do with your own variables. Whether this guy is genetics and drugs and all this stuff, you got to just focus on you and get to where you need to go for your own personal goals. And that really is making the fucking best decisions possible, being as strict as possible. It's true. That's a true fact, guys. You will create your own luck. You will create your own destiny or end result if you really make the right decision, and you can actually step back and not be so impulsive. And you can think thoroughly, rationally about, you know what, I probably better skip the white rice with this meal. Even though it's a chicken breast and white rice meal, I'm a little less active today. I'm not on my feet. You can actually, forecast things. You have to think critically like this. It's going to make a difference as time goes on. I'm done with this little rant. But remember, life's about choices. Everything is always usually in the ball's in your court. Make the best decision, and that means all the time. Stay on your own ass. Call yourself out whenever you're about to choose the wrong choice, and be like, nope, that's the wrong. I'm gonna bypass that. I'm gonna go with that option. It's gonna suck, but I know in the long run, if I keep making that choice that sucks, it won't suck, because I'll be where I need to be.